Well, good morning. Can you hear me good? Yes? Okay. Thank you for coming to Chile. It's the first, my first words. I know this is very, very far here in the south, so it is important for us to receive you here. And I hope you have a good experience in our country, and also I have you had the opportunity to travel around and to see the city because it's a very beautiful city here in Santiago. So thank you very much for coming. And today, my idea is to present what we are doing like a country in the space domain. Okay, this is the topic of the presentation. And in particular, we are talking about our space program. Chile started in the space activity in the 90s. We started with some experimental projects, but the time passed and we now change our mind and we start to work like a system. And our idea is to create the conditions to be autonomous in this kind of technology. We know for sure that we cannot be 100% autonomous because space it is a place where we need collaboration. And for that reason, we are here, because we need collaboration. And we also can contribute with this effort at global level, okay? So the idea is to present you what we are doing in our country. And of course, if you have some question, I'm more than welcome to receive it. Our program, it is based in 4 pillars, okay? The first pillar, we call it National Satellite System, and it is focused on the development of satellite capabilities in Chile, to operate satellites, to design satellites, to manufacture the satellites here in Chile, and also to have the hardware and capabilities to process the information and to put this information at disposal of our decision makers in Chile. The second pillar is focused on satellite communications, and we are working in a project to have some capabilities here in this domain. I will speak in some details. The third one, we call it Regional National Satellite System. Why? Because we want to create some infrastructure, because Chile is a very long country with different characteristics. In the north, we have the cleanest skies in the world. In the south, a very good position for polar activities. So the idea is to use our territory and to have a network of centers along the country, and I will explain. And the last one is the educational, because we are working very hard in promote the talent in our country. Create conditions, fundings, scholarships in order to create a very, very robust group of people to understand this new domain. New, because it's not so new. And we are now working in a 5th pillar, but it's not declared because it is very new for us. It is about the space domain awareness, because we are trying to contribute with the global effort in the control of the space debris and how we can manage the risk to operate in the space, okay? So let's go to the first one, the National Satellite System. This is the current one with the funding to do it, okay? Something happened here. So the element of this National Satellite System, there's 3 subsystems. The first one is we call it geospatial information. In this, we have the infrastructure to process the information that we will obtain from the space. So we will have 5 data centers available in Chile in this network of centers, okay? We will have the mission control centers. We will see in details this and all the capabilities to process the information. The second one, it is the subsystem for the manufacturing process, okay? So we will build from today until 2029, 9 satellites here. It will be 7 satellites, nano satellites, and 2, let's say, mini satellites, okay? All the satellites will be focused in different kind of payloads. The nano satellites will be mainly to train people and to understand the process, and the 2 big ones will be for operational activities. And the third one, it is the infrastructure to operate the satellites, okay? These are the payloads that we have in mind. This is the project that we are currently working. the 7 nanosatellites with different payloads. For instance, the first one will have a electro-optical payload, so around 4 meters of resolution, communications, inter-satellite links, and global start for experimental communications with different constellations. Okay, the second one, IGS for maritime activities, IGS Bravo for activities with the aircraft, links also to work together, and you can see a very different kind of payloads that we are working. The idea is to have teams, okay, for the Air Force, our, let's say, academic environment, all the people working together in these satellites. And let's say the operational ones, we call it ECHO 1 and ECHO 2 will be 2 satellites. There is also electro-optical capabilities with resolution under the meters, submetric resolution. And this will be utilized for activities for the Chilean government and for also the requirements that we can have here in Chile. And this is our roadmap, okay? The idea, we start today in 2026 with the National Space Center. I will show you the National Space Center. We already built the center. The center was inaugurated on December. And we will have, from 2027, the capacity to collaborate with different projects using this infrastructure, okay? In the satellite aspect, we will launch, we are building the 2 first satellites, SNSat 1 and 2, during 2026, and we will launch in the first trimester of 2027. And also the ECHO 1, we will launch on the first semester of 2027. Why? Because the ECHO 1 now is currently in the process of fabrication in the United States. During 2027, we will launch SNSat 3 and 4. Sorry, we will build 3 and 4, and we will build in Chile ECHO 2 to launch on 2028. And during 2028, we will build the last 3 satellites, and it is very important here because the payloads for the last 2 ones, SNSat 6 and 7, the idea is to build these payloads here in Chile with our engineering teams, okay? So the idea is to create the conditions to learn the process and to achieve the capabilities to design payloads and to manufacture the payloads here in Chile. This is the program that is currently in place with the funding and with the people working. And as I mentioned, the idea is to have a network. So today we have the National Center in Santiago, but we are working very hard with in Chile we have regional governments, okay? And the regional governments has some capabilities to manage some funding. So we are working with the regional government of Antofagasta in the north and Punta Arenas to build 2 space regional centers, okay? The idea is that the regional governments will fund the infrastructure and the Air Force will be in charge of the operations. And the idea is to create the same conditions that you will see in the National Space Center in the regions. And in our concept, the idea is to have this network of centers working together, okay? And this is the National Space Center. It is here in Santiago, was inaugurated in 2026, in December 2025. It is now in the process to implement all the equipment, and we are already working in the projects. And this capability or capacity, it is available for international collaboration. We are very open to that. So the idea is, any of you have some interest, this center is available for cooperations. This is our concept, to be a hub for the region. So we have agreements with mostly all the countries in the region, so you can use us like a hub from here to South America. So this is the idea. The center, it is located in our in the Cerrillos Air Force Base here in Santiago. It's around 30 minutes from here. So you are more than welcome if you want to visit the center. It's a public building, so the people can visit the center. And this is some images that I would like to share with you. But if you see the dates, you can see that we built the center in 1 year. So we have the capability to do that here in Chile. So the idea is to do it again in the north and in the south. It was very challenging, but we do it. We did it, sorry. And mainly, it is the center has 4 activities, let's say. The technology space development, the mission control center, data science, and research and innovations. Let's see. We create the conditions as a concept to put together in one building these the 4 areas. So, for instance, if we can find some solutions, some problems in Chile that we can resolve using space technology, we do it here in this area. Innovation, we create the conditions to build the projects. If we need to build satellites, we will design the satellites and we will build it. If we need to operate the satellite, we will operate the satellites. And if we want to explode the information, we will do it in the same center. So the idea is the 4 areas work together. And the people that in some day it is working in a project, in the other day can be working in the mission control center. So we can use our personnel in a more efficient way. So this is the idea. In some countries, these capabilities are separate in different cities. We put all together in one building. And the idea is these 4 areas will be the same in the regional centers, in different scales, but will be the same. Okay? Let's see a little more details. In the space technology development, what we have in the center. Mainly a clean room. It is a very important clean room, okay, for the region at least. So we have the capability here to do all the process for the manufacture of one satellite. So we can design, we can build, and we can test the satellite. So we have, for instance, the electromagnetical chamber to do all the tests for electromagnetical topics, the checker to prove the satellite in the, let's say, the mechanical stress for the launching process, the TVAC to do all the tests around the different temperatures and simulate the space conditions. So the system is created and the clean room is available from the beginning to the end to develop and manufacture satellites. But also, this clean room can be used for other kind of processes. For instance, we are working now with some medical institutions to test some, let's say, biological technology. We are working with astronomy to test some telescope, etc. So if you have any requirement that needs these kind of conditions, the clean room it is available for that. The Mission Control Center. So we have this Mission Control Center, and from this we will let's control the constellations that we have, but also we will control the capability to be connected with other satellites for collaborations. For instance, today we have around 27 agreements with different satellites, and all these access and collaborations are doing through this Mission Control Center. Okay, and our current satellites are operated from this Mission Control Center, and we can use this Mission Control Center if some country wants to work with us, like a backup, for instance. We can use this Mission Control Center also. But also we include in this the space monitoring. So we are working now in the installation of around six optical telescope. We are working with Germany, UK, and United States, and we will create a network of telescope to contribute with information for space debris monitoring. Why? Because Chile is in the middle of all the trajectories, so we have a very important risk if some space debris creates some conditions dangerous for our communities. So the idea is to have the capability. And we will have infrastructure to control these satellites in the north, in the center, and in the south. So again, if some agency or institutions needs to use this infrastructure, like a backup, for instance, we are very open to that. Data science, the other area. What we have in data science, we will have one of the biggest, let's say, high computing process capabilities here in Chile. The idea is to storage and process all the information that we will obtain with our satellites, but also we can put this capability, I'm talking about the high computing capabilities, available for collaborations. So if some institution needs capability to do some processes, we can do it here. So we need to find the correct instruments, but this infrastructure will be available. And in the research and innovation, what we are doing is nothing new. We are trying to do this triangle-like a process and find the ways to work. So we have the data, we need some solutions for public problems, and we need to find the people to can process the information. So we are working together to create the conditions to promote solutions using these capabilities. And our idea is to close the valley of death that everybody knows. That so the difficulties to go from the paper to the reality. So the idea is to put this infrastructure. The idea is to cooperate with this to close this valley of the death. So we have a strategic opportunity. This is a center with a very open vision. The centers in the north and the south of Chile will be the same. It will be a network. And our idea is to put this infrastructure in a very good position to collaborate with all the countries. Chile, it is very, very interesting to open these capabilities because we know that we have a very good position in the world to do this. We are now very committed with this, and the idea is to create conditions to collaborate and to obtain, of course, the result of this collaboration for our interest. And this is the center.
Bienvenidos al Centro Espacial Nacional.
We want to be a bridge. This is our goal, to be a bridge between the defense, the science, and the industry, because we want to achieve this goal of the autonomy. So we are very open again to collaborate. And again, thank you very much for your time. And I'm very welcome to Chile. And I hope you have a very good experience here. And I'm very open to any question if you have.